Every punch thrown with knockout intentions.
This is going to be the battle of hooks, I believe. Both these guys really like their lead. Right, I've heard about that stuff.
There's a nice exchange, and it looked like Tepora got the better of it as Ortega comes springboarding back off the ropes. Ooh, nasty uppercut just missed. Oh! Ortega in the white. Chris, who do you favor in this contest?
I really like Tepora. I think he's a budding young star. He's got good skills. He's explosive. He likes to bring it. He's got good power. But Ortega is not going to let it come easy. He's a solid guy, good southpaw.
And you talk about intensity. Sitting in that fighter interview meeting, I thought he was going to jump the table and start scrapping with you just because.
Yeah, he was ready to fight, that's for sure. He's all business right now, though.
Needs to be focused because Ortega has plenty of power. Oh, there's a right hand that lands for the Mexican.
Yeah, but just before that, I think Tepora landed a good body shot.
This crowd's getting loud. Of this capacity crowd, I would say probably 95% are here just to see Manny Pacquiao. And Tepora's going to get a lot of love off that crowd. A Filipino fighter on a big Filipino fight card. Oh, and a right there from Ortega. It might be a little overconfident. He's been hit with a couple of big shots.
I agree, just like that one right there, a little right hook.
Right hand there for Tepora. Both fighters landing some heavy punches here in round one. This is the kind of fight we expected, Chris, and that's what we're getting.
They both said that this is going to be an all-action affair. They weren't lying.
Update on Lou Ben, who was knocked out in our last fight. He was taken to a local medical facility for precautionary reasons. Hopefully he'll be okay. Any further news, we'll certainly pass it along to you. How many languages do you speak?
3, English, Filipino, and Spanish, a little bit.
But from her translation, we learned that both corners said, keep going forward, don't back up.
Mexican style. He's actually using boxing skills and lateral movement, so I'm impressed to see that. He said he was going to do it, and he's able to execute.
Tepora with a left hand as Ortega came bull rushing in. Big swing and a miss by both guys. Every punch thrown with knockout intentions.
This is going to be the battle of hooks, I believe. Both these guys really like their lead right hooks.
There was a left that connected for Tepora. The tougher your childhood was, the more adversity you face, the better fighter you become.
Good exchange here. I like how Tepora was fighting off his back foot there, landing some good shots while moving backwards. Diaz has dealt with that already.
As we enter the third round here, who do you give the edge to so far?
I've got Tepora winning the first 2 rounds. Like I said, his punches looked a little bit heavier, a little more effect. Although it's been very competitive. Good counter left uppercut by Tepora.
This crowd really buzzing as they've settled in a little bit more. Nice 1-2 to the body there for Tepora. Nice exchange, and Ortega got the better of that, it seemed, but now that gets Tepora. And a nice 1-2 running forward for Ortega again. Good round for the Mexican, who just missed with the right, hit him with the left. Good exchanges, and they are throwing some leather now.
Definitely some hard punches exchanged there. It seemed like that shot that clipped Tepora gave Ortega some good confidence. Tepora's attention. We're going to see here the right hand and then the left hook and another right hand. This seemed to spur Ortega on towards the end of that round. Another shot of that. I like Ortega's good combination.
Exciting end to round 3. Let's see what they have in store for us here in the 4th. Tepora from the Philippines in the red, Ortega from Mexico in the white. One of 4 world title bouts tonight. Oh, big overhand right thrown there for Tepora. We've seen in past fights, Tepora has kind of neglected his defense a little bit, just focused on offense. He can't afford to do that tonight against Ortega, can he?
No, and I think he knows that. He's been, like I said, he's been fighting a little bit of a counter fight at times. Ortega is doing what he said he was going to do, box smart and be aggressive at times. That's exactly what he's been doing.
Yeah, here we are, round 5 scheduled for 12 between another Filipino fighter, Jhack Tepora, taking on Edivaldo Ortega. And how do you have this one scored through 4 rounds, Chris?
I've actually got it all even up, 2 rounds apiece.
Talk about culture shock, Chris. This is the first time Ortega has ever fought outside of Mexico.
Wow. Good left hand, straight left hand to the body by Tepora.
10 seconds.
Nice defense there by Tepora.
Good head. Round 6 scheduled for 12 here, Kuala Lumpur.
For Ortega, I would say to pick up the action a little bit more, be a little more active. And for Tepora, I would say just use that jab more. He's got a good jab. He's been flashing it. He's creating a little bit of distance, being able to counter like that. I would like for him to counter with more than 1 punch at a time, though.
Stick and roll there. Most fighters train, what, 8 to 10 weeks for a world title fight? Ortega said he spent 3 months in training camp for this fight.
Wow. You know what they say, if you sharpen a knife too much, it gets dull. Can't overtrain.
Left hand there for Ortega. Thrown with a lot of power, though.
At the end of this round, you see more of what Ortega needs to do. Push him forward, letting his hands go.
Strong finish there to the round. We're in round 7, scheduled 12, the halfway point. And what can you tell us about Jhack Tepora, Diana? Don't know a lot about him, El Capitan.
Actually, honestly, not a very known fighter in the Philippines yet. Training in Cebu, which is like a province outside Manila. This is only his 2nd international fight. Has big dreams, like every boxer, hoping to fulfill what Manny Pacquiao has achieved, which may not come close, but another striving, talented boxer that has a lot of good people around him.
Super nice guy is Jhack Tepora. Becomes a world title holder.
Nice jab there, good timing. Good body shot too. See, but just one and done.
Ooh, big clash, and they've always been that way.
Ortega pushing forward early, backing up. Tepora kept along the ropes, letting his hands go. And then we're going to see some action. Here's another look at that. Pushing him against the ropes, letting those hands go. And then the end of the round, like as Todd alluded to, these guys seem to always open it up. Both hands flying. Big shots.
Round 8 scheduled for 12. Nice counter right there, more of a slapping shot from Tepora.
10 seconds.
You've never had a drink before noon, have you, Chris?
Well, it's always noon somewhere.
No, let it go, let it go.
Extremely serious, ready to go. He was very, very confident. You know, you can tell just by a fighter's aura sometimes. how realistically their chance of winning is. Yeah, for sure. After seeing how serious their team was, I definitely give them a better shot.
I've been to Tijuana. They have tequila there, and I love a good tequila.
I've heard about that stuff.
There's a nice exchange, and it looked like Tepora got the better of it as Ortega comes springboarding back off the ropes. Ooh, nasty uppercut just missed. Oh! Down, and there's the crowd coming to life. 30 seconds to go. Let's see what Tepora wants to do here. Ortega holding on.
Ortega seems hurt. Oh, good hard shot.
And now here comes Tepora going forward. He's got a 76% knockout percentage. Knows how to close the show. And Ortega eating a lot of punches here. And it stopped.
So Tepora had been landing the left uppercut all night long. That one was the right uppercut off the lead. Switched it up. Ortega just didn't see it. Clipped him right on the chin. He was actually blinded by his own glove being up and landed right on the chin. Let's take another look at that knockdown. You see that lead right uppercut. Ortega didn't see that shot coming at all. Tepora followed up with doing exactly what I told him he needed to do earlier. Throw combinations for your counters. He really let his hands go when he had his man hurt. Great instincts for finishing here. Cutting angles, making sure it keeps working. Closing the gap quickly. And here's the end of the fight right here.
If you can't intelligently defend yourself, it should be stopped. Did you see that there?
I didn't. I saw him getting hit, getting hurt. It was probably going to happen a few moments later.
WBA interim featherweight world champion, the featherweight fighting pride of the Philippines, Jhack El Capitan Tepora.